I have no idea what this thing is. I hope it's in focus.
A week ago, this Chinese spy balloon was shot down by an American F-22 fighter firing a Sidewinder missile.
Holy
The US Navy deployed divers to recover the wreckage, though the FBI says much of the evidence remains underwater. And now a second unmanned object has been brought down, possibly Chinese, but maybe not.
It was much, much smaller than the spy balloon that we took down last Saturday. The way it was described to me was roughly the size of a small car, as opposed to a payload that was like 2 or 3 buses size.
The object was shot down over frozen ocean near Alaska's border with Canada as it was heading northeast towards the North Pole. The Americans had been tracking it for 24 hours, unlike the 8 days it took before the balloon was shot down a week ago. But because this object was flying much lower at 40,000 feet, it was considered a risk to commercial aircraft. Over the Nevada desert this week, American, British and Australian fighters war-gamed their response to a possible Chinese invasion in the Pacific. It was an annual drill, though this one took place amid rising tension. On Thursday, the House of Representatives voted unanimously to condemn China's spy balloon, with Republicans trying to paint President Biden's reaction as weak.
This thing was gigantic. What happened if it came down and hit a school in the rural area? What happened if it came down? So I told them as soon as they can shoot it down, shoot it down. They made a wise decision. They shot it down over water. They're recovering most of the parts, and they're good.
The Americans believe the balloon was part of a global surveillance fleet, not for weather research as the Chinese claim. Beijing says destroying it was a serious mistake, and they refused to let America's Defense Secretary talk by phone to his Chinese counterpart.
As for the US to claim that the balloon is part of a so-called fleet, I'm not aware of that. This may be part of the US side's information warfare against China. The international community sees clearly who is conducting the most spy, surveillance and monitoring activities.
The FBI are now studying the balloon's wreckage, with Joe Biden himself claiming that this was not a major security breach. Its importance may well have been inflated by the president's critics. But F-22 jets have now shot down 2 objects in the space of a week. And if the second was also Chinese, that will surely be seen by many Americans as a deliberate provocation.